Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bahrain Desert at the Sakir Circuit for round 9 in Tier 1. My name is George Sanderson, or GB Sanderson, and I'm going to be your commentator for tonight. Just me in the commentary box, no Andy tonight, unfortunately. But we still have plenty of entertainment in Tier 1 this evening. We'll wait for our first driver to hit the track. That looks like it's going to be one of the Williams. We will wait and see. It's not Jane Lomax, it's Jamie Dwyer. The first man out on track on a set of the mediums in this qualifying session. We're getting a weather report from Ultra Titan saying, unsurprisingly, it is going to be dry here in Bahrain. Now we wait for Jamie Dwyer to come around and do his first lap in the session. Hello to anybody in the stream as well. Hope everyone is doing good this evening. And here we go then. Jamie Dwyer in the Williams, first man to set a lap, number 7 on his car. Number 7 in the standings at the moment in this session. Of course, no one setting a lap yet. He is on the mediums. I'm expecting most other people to be on the soft tyres, and indeed they are at the moment. A lot of drivers out on track right now. Only 5 yet to venture out. And as we came through the first sector, of course, going purple for the Williams, a 29.8. There is a Mercedes behind him. I believe that is Haters. He does a 28.8, so obviously going a lot quicker on those soft tyres. Now coming down the back straight with DRS open between turns 10 and 11. One of 3 DRS zones on this circuit, and then has the left-hander as he climbs up the slight hill. Going to the end of Sector 2, goes a 1 minute 9.9. We will once again compare that to Haters as he comes around a 7.2. So Jamie Dwyer a second or so down on the Mercedes at the moment. And coming through the final corner, here comes the Williams, first time lap in this session. Across the line goes Jamie Dwyer, and it's 1:32.9, which will be immediately beaten by Haters with a 29.1. Decent first attempt there. Got the second Williams, Jaden Lomax next up. He goes quickest with a 28.9, so we're already into the 28s. Expect that time to come down even further throughout this session. We've got F1 Mallard just crossing the line. He goes P3 on a 29.6. The McLaren has invalidated. Ethan, he was reserving Tier 2 last night. In Tier 1 tonight goes P3 with his first attempt. 29.2. You've got the Alfa Romeos coming up behind. That's Ritzy going P5. The second Red Bull of Ollie goes P2 immediately, replaced by JG, as a few more drivers now coming across the line as well. Craig Conley just starting his lap in the McLaren. That's where we look for more lap times. The 2 Hassers have crossed the line, gone P7 and P9 respectively, between Billy and Penguin and Michael Lewis. Parallel Harry now tops the timing boards with a 28.6 in the Alpine. He's very consistent in qualifying. Is Parallel Harry been definitely his strong point of this season, one race out of 7 that he's raced in so far outside of the top 5 in qualifying, and that was still only P7 at Qatar. Little wiggle there you see from the McLaren of Craig Conley as he comes out of the slow right-hander at turn 8. This corner very easy to lock up, but does it nicely. Gets on that apex. No lock-up for the McLaren. And you can see just how busy the track is there in Sector 2 on the minimap. Lots of cars, about 10 cars, all in the same sector. They've all got their own little space on the track at the moment. I'll wait and see what Craig Conley can do. He's at a 1 minute 8.1 at the moment, which is slightly slower than Haters was, so expect Craig to be at the back end of the top 10 with this effort. We've got an Alfa Romeo coming up to the line. That will be Rizzi, I believe, has done a second lap, but Craig Conley, the focus for now, up to the line, gets P12 just outside of that top 10, and only 35 thousandths of a second off Michael Louis' Haas. AlphaTauri division now, where can he go? P11, 29.7. Got Cloud coming back into the pits. Now, of course, the big news from tonight, no Cookie in this race. Cookie, our championship leader, by 31 points with 4 races to go, including tonight. And Cookie unable to make this race, so it's a huge opportunity for Cloud here. You can get a maximum of 29 points per race, 25 for the win, 2 for pole position and 2 for fastest lap. And if he can do that, he won't lead the championship leaving Bahrain tonight, but he will be back within 2 points of Cookie if he can claim maximum points. Got a few people in the lobby at the moment. Addiction was in the race last night. Was unfortunate to DNF from a strong position. Was not happy with that incident. Of course, waiting for steward reports to come out in the next few days of Tier 2. If you didn't see that stream, go and watch it back. Very dramatic race out in Austria in round 9. Ethan also in the chat at the moment. Good to see you too. Decent first lap from the reserve in the Red Bull. Put himself up inside the top 10. And, well, you can see how close it is at the moment. Let's have a look at these gaps to the leader. So, Parallel Harry clear by 2.5 tenths at the moment. But then those gaps between P6 of Arrow all the way down to P9 of Ethan, just 0.5 tenth of a second between the 3 of them. Very, very close at the moment. Codzilla is about to add himself to the timing boards now. Goes P10 with a... Well, actually, we didn't see the lap time, but P10 for the McLaren to 29.3. A very nice lap indeed. Wait for our next lap times. Who will be next? There is a Red Bull coming back into the pits. We've got Supply Raptor supposedly setting a purple sector 1. Now the game, we know the game sometimes lies about sector times, but Raptor definitely one of the quickest drivers here at the moment. He's raced in 2 events so far for Alpine, come second place in both of them. Can he go one better today? Qualified 3rd in the Netherlands and got pole position last time out at the Belgian Grand Prix. The man in the Alpine setting a purple sector 2, a 1 minute 6.5. This is looking very quick so far. Remember, Haters was in the 107s, I believe, and got a 29.1. So this is looking like a very, very quick lap time from the Alpine. Up to the line comes Supply Raptor. What can he do? It's been a very quick lap so far, and he goes quickest. A 28.2 for Supply Raptor. Almost half a second clear at the top of the field. 4 tenths between him and his Alpine teammates, and so far looking like a very strong lap for the two Alpines, as you see Parallel Harry now starting his next attempt in qualifying as well. But the Alpines did fantastically last time out with P2 and P4. And will they look to go even better today? Well, it's certainly been a strong chance. We've got Cloud on a lap at the moment. Coming into Sector 3, he's setting a 106.2. So very close to our current provisional pole time set by the Alpine of Raptor. What can Cloud do? Coming into the final corner, hits the apex nicely, coming out, up to the line we go, using all the curb on the exit. The Mercedes goes even quicker, a 127.8. Cloud, that is an astonishing time by the Mercedes. And he puts himself on provisional pole and makes it almost a second between first and third. It is almost a second exact between first and the Ferrari of Arrow in P4. Very nice lap time from him. Yet again as well, the Ferraris also having a strong race. P4 and P6 for the Scuderia, as we watch JG get pushed back into his pit box. Only one man yet set a lap time at the moment. That is one of our reserves for the evening, Viewed Gosling. He has taken the Aston Martin seat of Acura that was available. You've also got Ethan swapping for Cookie, as we mentioned, our championship leader not racing today. Ritzy coming into the pits now. And 5 laps on those softs, maybe just getting a bit of practice in this qualifying session. We've got Haas out on track at the moment. That is Billy and Penguin, who is going slower. Craig Conley is going quicker at the moment. The McLaren up on his time through the final couple of corners. Uses all the track available to him, of course, to get the best run up to the line. And does improve by 4 tenths of a second, but it's only good enough for P17 at the moment. But he has brought himself into this little battle over 15th at the moment. Only a couple of tenths away from the Aston Martin of Mallard. We wait and see if any more lap times are coming. Cloud heading into the pits. Arrow heading into the pits. SLR Stan going slower, Ollie going slower, Ethan heading into the pits. We've got AlphaTauri coming across the line. That was Division, goes at 13th fastest with a 29.233. Here comes the Haas and Michael Louis, and does improve, but it's only good enough for 18th still. And we already mentioned Stan, I believe, is, yes, 2 seconds down on his time. You can see the lights flashing on the back of that AlphaTauri. It means he is saving battery and heading into the pit lane. So let's ride along now with, who do we stick along with? Let's go with Jamie Dwyer for the time being. He is on an outlap at the moment. His first time lap on the softs in this session. His best was set with the mediums on that first run. You can see that there. As we look at everyone's best tyre. Everyone apart from Jamie Dwyer using the softs. But he is now going to try again. Although, let's just see if that light is still flashing. It is. So this is maybe a slow lap building up to the final attempt for the Williams. Got Viewed Gosling still in the pit lane at the moment. So we'll wait and see what they can do. But let's ride along with Ollie then for his lap. Never mind. He takes a very creative route through turn 1 there. He has improved his lap time. I believe he just finished a lap to go P4 with a 28.6. But yeah, we joined him at a very interesting time there. Michael Louis heading into the pits. So the next man to start a lap time will be Raptor in the Alpine. We've got Raptor, his teammate Paolo Harry saying over the radio, Jesus Christ, Raptor and Cloud are on another level. And well, look at those times, 27.8, 28.2. They really are on another level. Let's ride along with Supply Raptor for this lap then. You can see traffic coming out of the pit lane, getting ready to start their final laps of the session. Just under 3 minutes left on the clock at the moment. Bit of a wiggle there, and that's not where you want to go. Supply Raptor over the gravel, and this lap will not be an improvement. It will not be the one he wants to go for pole. Hopefully he'll have enough fuel in his tank to go for another lap. Who else is coming around? Ollie is invalid on his lap, unsurprisingly, gaining a second. I wonder where that could have come from, Ollie, after that turn one. So, the next person, look at the traffic coming out the pit lane at the moment, by the way. Let's just take a look at that as everyone comes out of the pits. And you just see cars coming out of everywhere. Only a few still in the pits. One of those is Viewed Gosling. Don't know if he is planning to start from the back of the grid. We'll wait and see if he ventures out. Indeed. Oh no, that was a Mercedes I saw. So still sat in the pit lane at the moment. We've got Jamie Dwyer on a lap time. He is going to be the first man to set a representative time, I believe, although his lights are still flashing. Ollie retires in the pits, so it will be a maximum of P4 for the Red Bull. The only full-time Red Bull in this race here today. Raptor about to start his final lap of the session, I believe. Or does he? No, I believe Raptor coming into the pit lane. So Raptor will be a best of P2. Can anyone claw that huge gap to Cloud? I somehow doubt it. Jamie Dwyer will cross the line now. Goes slightly slower. Stays P19. But is he going for a third pushed lap? Yes, he is. That battery, the light's no longer flashing. He is using the battery power. And we now wait and see who the first person across the line is going to be. It's going to be Billy and Penguin, I believe. Everyone else on outlaps. Billy and Penguin. And then I believe that is Jason Gordon in the Ferrari behind him. So let's keep an eye on the Haas at the moment. Coming down into the notoriously tricky turn 10. Does it nicely though. Hits the apex. Gets a good run out of the corner. DRS will open. The shortest of the DRS zones around this Bahrain circuit. And here comes Billy and Penguin up to the end of Sector 2. He is marginally slower at the moment. So let's go and have a look at JG as he comes across 3/10 up in the Ferrari. That will put him in the battle for third place with Parallel Harry at the moment. The checkered flag is out. So whatever these drivers do, it will be their last attempt of the session. Out of the final corner, Billy and Penguin pulls into the pit lane. JG will be the first man across the line. Goes P3 with a 28.6. Behind him is a Williams. That's going to be Jamie Dwyer. Does not improve. There's an Alfa Romeo behind them of Ultra Titan. And he pulls into the pit lane. No improvement from him. Who else do we have? Paolo Harry goes third. 28.5 for the Alpine. The second Williams coming up to the line now. Jaden Lomax improves to 6th. We've got the Red Bull of, I believe, Ethan. Now improves to 6th himself. Knocks the Williams and Jaden Lomax down a position. A couple more times coming across the line. Arrow stays P8 with his attempt. You've got the Mercedes of Cloud in Sector 2 at the moment. The other Mercedes of Haters goes P12. You've got an AlphaTauri coming up to the line as well. That'll be SLR Stan, I believe. Stays P9 with his time, but out the final corner. Here comes Cloud. He's already bagged himself pole position. But he improves it even further. A 27.6 from the man in the Mercedes. Fantastic lap from him. Michael Louis will pull in the pit lane. That is your qualifying. And boy, is that dominant from Cloud. Ethan saying that was a cheeky lap. It certainly was, mate. I mean, you said you didn't think you had the pace in Tier 1, for Tier 1, and that Bahrain was one of your less favourite tracks, but you've put yourself in P6 and only what's that, 7/100ths of a second behind your full-time teammate. So that is not bad whatsoever. Cloud somehow saying not a good quali lap. T1 and T4 could have been better. That's, of course, the tight right-hander at the start of the lap. And then the one at the end of Sector 1, the other right-hander at the end of the second DRS straight, says they could have been better. Yet he is some 5 tenths clear at the top from Supply Raptor. But an Alpine 2-3, a Red Bull 5-6. Some very impressive times from there. Decent from the Ferraris yet again, with P4 for JG and Arrow also in the top 10. Ethan saying the gaps are insane. That is tier 1, mate. We're, of course, missing our championship leader of Cookie. Which means we are without one very fast guy. There's no Acura. He is also very fast. No Luxury, who was last season's runner-up. He's had a bit of a season from hell this time around. I'm sure he'd be the first to admit. 1 podium, 3 DNFs. It's certainly not gone how he would have liked it to, but he's still one of the quicker drivers. So get your predictions in the chat, people. 10 of you in the stream at the moment. And Automatic immediately says something blows up. Good. Good. Let's see if something does blow up, or hopefully not someone, but we will see. Hello, SunGod26. Welcome to the stream, my friend. You're watching Tier 1 of We Have Fun F1. 9th round out of 12 this season. We're in Bahrain. Next weekend we will go to Japan, and then it is a trip to Kota, I believe, for the penultimate race of the season. Indeed, on the 7th of April we go to Kota, and then the season finale at, let's be honest, the circuit that should be the final race in real life, the Sao Paulo circuit in Brazil, will round off season 2 in We Have Fun F1. Ethan says he is going to spin this race. I hope not, mate. But we just wait for the drivers to set their setups and strategy, should I say. Titans predicted he's going to do a charisma. Now, we'll wait and see what that actually means, because there are many things that man does, charisma. Most of them are inexplicable. Thank you for the lead name compliments, but give all the compliments to Arrow and Zampa, the 2 men behind the scenes who created this fantastic league. It's good to have you in the chat. I don't know if you've been watching during qualifying or you've just joined, but if you have any sort of prediction, then let us know. And I'm sure racing will be getting underway just now. In fact, we go to the grid for 5 lights here in Bahrain. And we go racing in Tier 1. A good getaway for Cloud. He holds the lead as Paolo Harry challenges his teammate going down in towards Turn 1. In fact, Harry taking the lead for the time being. Can everyone get through Turn 1 cleanly? Couple of lockups in the background, but it seems that everyone has got through the corner nicely. Paolo Harry does jump his teammate Raptor for 2nd place. Further back, JG dropping back a couple of positions. The Red Bulls have gobbled him up, and Ethan go all the way around the outside of his teammates here. Fantastic move by Ethan as we see Arrow going slowly in the background. That's his Ferrari dropping down the field, down to 14th. So not a good start for the second Ferrari, but the 2 Red Bulls, brilliant getaway. Ethan on the soft tyres. Let's take a look at everyone's tyres here. See what we're going for. And a big mix. Cloud and Ethan, the only 2 going for the soft tyre. There are some of your potential strategies we may see today. Predicting a 2-stop for those that start with the soft tyres. Potentially a 1-stop for everyone else. But Cloud out at the front, over a second clear already on Raptor, who has got back past his teammate Paolo Harry for 2nd place on the hard tyres here. It's a big tyre difference between the leader and the man in P2. Further back, Arrow climbed his way back up into P12. Nice train going back down the back straight. There seems to have been an incident for Godzilla at some point. Here's all the way down in P20. Any damage on his car? Cannot see any there. As we start lap 2. The two Alpines doing very well though at the moment. Still both on the podium. Ethan up into 4th place. As we come into turn 1, there's a move going on in the background. BRL Ritzy gets himself down the inside of Haters. Locks up a little bit but gets the move done here. Little twitch on the exit. Will that allow Haters to come back? He's in the slipstream. Ritzy trying to get away from him. He's done his 2 defensive moves. And up the inside goes Haters, but the door is shut. And he doesn't get it done. Meanwhile, Ethan going round Parallel Harry, making those soft tyres work and gets himself up into the podium. But Harry not giving it up. He's up the inside. Almost contact between the two of them. Look how close they get on the exit of turn 8 there. But as they rise over the brow of the hill and drop down into turn 10, it's Ethan who gets himself up into 3rd place. The reserve from tier 2. He won last night. He's up to 3rd tonight. Look back down the order. Ritzy got that move done on Haters and has almost stretched a 3/4 of a second gap already, and he's trying to catch up to SLR Stan, who is currently in P8 out of the front. Supply Raptor has managed to sort of stable the gap to Cloud in the lead, 1.4 seconds at the moment. That's ebbing and flowing though as they go. Jaden Lomax has dropped down to P19. Let's take a look at the position changes there. And you can see Jaden Lomax down 12 places. He started in P7. He is all the way down to P19 at the moment. We'll keep an eye out, see if he comes into the pits at all. As we see Stan right up behind Ultra Titan on quicker medium tyres, it's worth pointing out. So Stan should be in theory on the better tyres at the moment, as DRS has been enabled. And well, up out at the front in fact, Supply Raptor within DRS of Cloud. Now is this some tactical play from the Mercedes to try and drag along the Alpine as well? Or is Cloud just starting to struggle already, only on lap 3, so you'd like to think that the softs have a little bit of time left in him. Predictions saying that Ethan will be a world champion next season. And we will have to see. He's certainly made a promising debut in Tier 2 last night with P2, sorry, he didn't win last night. He crossed the line first but had penalties as there's a big slide from Ethan as we're talking about his achievements in Tier 2 last night, and that has put him right into the clutches of this man in the Alpine. Parallel Harry on the medium tyres is right up behind him. 1.7 seconds the gap from Ethan to Raptor. He will not benefit from DRS, but the following about 6 cars behind him will all have DRS. Are we going to see any moves down into turn 1 this time around? Seeing 2 packs sort of forming at the moment. The top 10 have broken away, and here comes Parallel Harry down the inside into turn 1, closes the DRS, gets the move done before the braking zone, and back up into P3. A 2-3 for the Alpines, continuing their strong start. Further back, Mallard and Division going side by side at the moment. This is certainly holding this pack up as Arrow has dropped back down to P14. There's cars all over the road as View Gosling goes all the way around the outside of his teammate. Is he going to get 3 moves in 1 here? The Aston Martin gets the move done. He's still side by side though with Division at the moment. Round the outside, through the chicane, and down the hill he goes in P11. Brilliant stuff on the Aston Martin, and his teammate tries to launch it up the inside, but doesn't manage to get the move done. View Gosling up to P11, and now Division and Mallard fighting over P12. You've got Arrow, almost running into the back of the Aston Martin there in turn 10. And he is coming under pressure from the Haas behind him at the moment. As Billy and Penguin thinking of a move up the inside. Is he going to get it done? Not quite. Has to back out. The nature of that corner makes it very difficult to get the moves done unless you have a much better exit out of turn 10. He holds on to the position for now. Elsewhere, back up to the battle for 3rd. And Parallel Harry at the moment holding on to it, but Ethan will get DRS. Watch the flap in the rear wings all start to open as they come down this straight. believe that was Cloud setting the fastest lap, and after letting Supply Raptor within a second, the gap is now 3 at the front of the field. Further back, any moves being made. Stan going around the outside of Ultra Titan, doesn't manage it. He's now going to come under pressure from Ritzy, who goes all the way around the outside through turn 2 and 3 and gets the move done. Ritzy up into P8 there, and now has his teammates ahead of him. Will we see some team orders here from Alfa Romeo? Titan on the hard tyres will surely be slower than his teammates on the mediums. We'll wait and see further back. Billy and Penguin, there was a lock-up from the cars ahead. You saw the smoke there, but this battle over 13th place right now between Billy and Penguin and Mallard, as I think there might have been a spin almost in the background there. Arrow losing the rear end. And now goes really deep through turn 10, almost runs into the back of the cars in front of him. And that's going to cost him a couple more places, down to P17 for the Ferrari now. And along with Jaden Lomax, you can see the position change there. Down 9 for Arrow, down 11 for Jaden, up 9 for Viewed Gosling, though. The reserve in the Aston Martin having a fantastic start to this race, going from the back of the grid to P11. We now jump back to the front. There is Cloud in a world of his own at the moment, 3.5 seconds clear at the front as we start lap 6. Supply Raptor has his teammates slowly closing in. Further back, Ollie going down the inside of his teammates as Ethan fell out of the DRS of Parallel Harry. And Ethan down to P5. His teammates up into the top 4. Can he try and chase down the Alpine, or will he come back under pressure from his teammate? Ethan going down the straight, not going to be close enough this time around. Behind him, he's got his mirrors filled with the Ferrari of JG. Currently 4th in the championship here, JG, and ahead of his rival, Ultra Titan. You can see at the moment, JG P6, Ultra Titan P8. So JG going to be getting a few points. He's only 6 points behind in the title fight at the moment as well. Or should we say in the fight over 3rd place. These two been going at it all season. And now Ethan going to get overtaken by that man in the Ferrari. JG down the inside into turn 11 and gets the move done. That's him up into 5th place. And meanwhile behind them as well, Ritzy has got the move done on Titan and got himself up into P7. Let's see, has Ollie got DRS this time around the Parallel Harry? He has. The Red Bull doing a really good job there through lap 6. So now on lap 7, you can see though, he has used up a lot of battery. You see that on the steering wheel as behind them, Ethan under pressure from Ritzy. You can see it in the background over Ollie's wing there. Ethan with a big slide coming out of the corner. And loses the position to Ritzy, who is on a charge in this opening stint at the moment. He's gained a number of positions, up 7 for the Alfa Romeo. He was out of place, you have to argue, in qualifying, and now up inside the top 10 as further back. There's a move going on between Arrow and Craig Conley. They're battling over 17th place. We've also got a collision by the looks of it. Stan is round on the exit of turn 7 there, but on the left-hand side. So I wonder what happened there for the Alpha Tauri. We'll have to see if that gets sent to the stewards or not, but certainly some contact. I think there was contact ahead there. Billy and Penguin may have run into the back of division, and it is cost him on the exit. F1 Mallard gets through into P12. Billy and Penguin thinking of trying to get the move back, but backs out and remains P13 with his teammate directly behind him. His new teammate as well, it's worth mentioning. Michael Louis signing for Haas full-time, replacing Moser in the American outfit and being rewarded for his many reserve appearances this season. And, well, it's a debut for him here at Bahrain, a full-time debut, should we say, for him here at Bahrain, and we wish him all the best. As further ahead, Ollie right up the back of Parallel Harry now. He didn't get the move done the first time around with DRS. He'll have DRS again this time. Paolo Harry 2 seconds behind his teammate, so will not have the extra straight line speed, but does not need it in this case. Ollie stays behind further back. More battles going on in the lower reaches of the order. Division, Billy and Penguin and Michael Louis all battling here. We'll go and check them out as they go side by side through turn 4. And Billy and Penguin gets the move done round the outside, and Division coming under a lot of pressure here. We're on lap 8 of 29. You expect the soft tyres will be running out soon. Luxury saying in chat that Cloud is cooking. He certainly is. 3.3 seconds clear on a set of softs at the moment. Doing a fantastic job. Thank you for stopping by in the stream as well, Addiction. We hope to see you again soon as Division runs wide through turn 10 and loses another couple of places. Stan looking to make some ground after his spin earlier on. See what he can do. Back out at the front, we've got this four-way fight for P3 at the moment. You see Ethan starting to drop down now. The tyres starting to go off for him. He is on a set of softs, remember. And we'll wait and see if he comes in. Not this time around. We start lap 9 here in Bahrain. And the softs certainly starting to go off. Further ahead, Ritzy goes down the inside of JG. Nice move by the Alfa Romeo. A bit of a lock-up into turn 1, but gets the move done. And up into P5 now, as he looks to try and chase down Ollie, the next man on his list. Behind them, Ultra Titan go come under pressure from Ethan, but opts to stay behind for the time being. The Red Bull started up in, I believe, 5th place. No, 6th place, sorry. For the Red Bull, it was his teammates who started 5th. Dropped down a couple of places as the tyres have started to go off, and we'll wait and see what sort of strategy the reserve is going to do tonight. Racing in Cookie's place, of course. Ritzy all over the back of Ollie. They're on this DRS straight, and the Alfa Romeo, oh my goodness, almost a bit of contact between the two of them there. But Ritzy gets the move done, uses the DRS to good effect as Ollie lost the rear through turn 10. But almost contact between the two drivers there as Ritzy gets himself up into the top 4 with a 1.1 second gap to parallel Harry ahead of him, who is on the medium tyres as well. So equal tyres for the drivers in P3, P4 and P5, I believe. And I think JG may even be on a set of mediums as well. Yes, he is. You can see by the look on your mini-map there is still a battle going on over P11. Viewed Gosling in a bit of no man's land at the moment in P10. As you see a move being made by Ultra Titan down the inside of Ollie. Sorry, but of Ethan even. And Ultra Titan keeps P7 for the time being. But I think Ethan's starting to want to get a move on here. They are starting to be dropped by the cars ahead of them. There's also the big battle going on over P11. We'll wait and see if any moves get made there. Billy and Penguin defending from the AlphaTauri of Stan and the Aston Martin of F1 Mallard. That's further back. Jaden Lomax also challenging Michael Louis down the inside through turn 6. Almost contact. There's definitely contact there with the Ferrari of Arrow. Did he pick up any damage from that? He doesn't look like it. No visible damage to the Ferrari. But Jaden Lomax tried the move on Michael Louis through the right-hander of turn 6. Had to back out, and that caused the Ferrari to run into the back of him. And, oh, McLaren going wide in the background. That's Craig Conley. Loses the place to his teammate. Lost the rear end coming out to turn 10 and almost found himself in the barrier. But keeps it going well. Good save by the McLaren of Craig Conley there. Back out at the front. Cloud continues on to lap 11. Looking further back, you've got Ritzy within the DRS of Paolo Harry. He has dropped the Red Bull of Ollie as you see another car coming into the pits in the background. That's Haters, sorry, in the background. We'll keep an eye on what tyre he goes on to. He's pitting off 10-lap-old mediums here. So his mediums really not worked in comparison to the soft tyres, for example, of Ollie. Of Ethan and Cloud even. There's almost contact there between Ritzy and Paolo Harry through turn 4. Ritzy has to back out of it. and remains P4 for the time being. Haters will come out in last place, just behind Jamie Dwyer, on a fresh set of mediums, so he is committing to the 2-stop here. Hello, what now? 165, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. We are on lap 11 out of 29 here in Bahrain, and you can see on your minimap a massive train here behind the Haas of Billy and Penguin as they come into turn 10. You've got 6 or 7 drivers, all nose to tail. Look at them all coming out of the exit there. The queue starts with a Haas and ends with a Haas. And here comes Stan. Is he thinking of the move into turn 11? Not quite. Stays behind, as we mentioned earlier. Turn 11, very difficult place to make the move. The DRS helps, but you don't manage to get the move done often there. Cloud stays out, another lap in the lead of this race, but the battle we need to be watching is here. BRL Ritzy coming down the start-finish straight, has DRS on Parallel Harry, is closing as you see Ethan dive into the pits in the background. Ritzy will get the move done down into turn 1 and get himself up onto the podium. A fantastic recovery drive so far from Ritzy, up 10 places from P13 to P3. And is this move done yet though? Paolo Harry says no, he'll dive it back down the inside, goes the Alpine. Ritzy tries for the up and under here, goes for the cutback, he'll be alongside him coming through turn 6, has the inside line. They're still side by side though, Harry is not giving this one up easily. Ritzy sends it down the inside into the tight right hander of turn 8. They are still neck and neck, there he is in the Alpine, Paolo Harry alongside him. They'll go side by side into turn 10 still, as Parallel Harry is not giving this one up. Let's have a look at it on the exit. Look how much time they are losing as well. Ollie was well out of a second a moment ago. The Red Bull right up behind now, but Parallel Harry will hold on to the position. Well, they still go side by side for almost a whole sector here as we rise up the hill. The Alfa Romeo, though, finally gets the move done, gets himself up onto the podium. But that has cost Ritzy a lot of time there. 4.7 seconds behind the second Alpine on Supply Raptor. And you've got to say, Parallel Harry doing the perfect job for his teammate there. Defending that position like a lion, as Max Verstappen would save. And Ritzy pulling into the pits now, going for the undercut. Joined by Ollie. We will have a look at the tyre details as well, because we saw Ethan came in the lap before. He put on a set of mediums, came out in P18 behind Haters, interestingly. Where will these guys come out in relation to Haters then? So BRL Ritzy puts on the hards. Ollie also on a set of hards. Out of the pits they come. We see Godzilla going down the inside of Michael Louis ahead of them. Ritzy out in 12th. Out in 11th, Ollie out in 12th, just ahead of his teammate. But on cold hard tyres compared to warmed up mediums, will Ethan be able to make a move on his teammate in the background? Craig Conley coming under pressure from Haters. The Mercedes will send it down the inside through turn 4 and get himself up into 14th. But Haters, from being in a bit of no man's land when he pits, he is now right up in this battle with Ritzy, Ollie and Ethan at the moment. Can he stick with them as Ethan sends it down the inside of his teammate? Doesn't make the move stick. Ollie defends the position well. There are no team orders here at Red Bull as Ethan does the switchback coming down the hill. Almost makes the move stick. Almost contact between him and his teammate as well. But tried the switchback, not able to get it done. Stays P13 and now coming under pressure from Haters. Out at the front, will anyone look to pit? Raptor and Cloud stay out. Will Parallel Harry respond to the undercut? The guys behind him, yes he will, as will JG. So this is the crucial moment. Where will these guys come out? Let's take a look at the gap to the leader at the moment. You lose about 21 seconds here at Bahrain in a pit stop. Harry and JG both strapping on the medium set of tyres. Let's keep an eye on Ritzy though, going down the main straight. Here he comes. Where are the guys ahead of him? They're coming out of the pit lane. There is the Alpine of Parallel Harry. And Ritzy making the undercut work. Gets himself up into P6. Parallel Harry out in P8. He has the McLaren of Godzilla ahead of him, who is yet to pit. Up in P7. Ethan has got past his teammate Ollie once again. He's up into P9. And Ollie dropping down to P10. Not what he needed in the Red Bull if he wanted to fight with Ritzy here. Certainly not what he was after. Godzilla defending hard here from Paolo Harry. This is costing Harry. The longer he stays behind the McLaren, the further away Ritzy gets. He's already got a 2.3 second gap over him as Ethan thinking of the move on Paolo Harry. Up the inside goes the Red Bull. It's a lovely move as he dives it round the outside. He's not going to make it stick, or is he? He's still side by side with the Alpine. Brilliant racing from Ethan. Gets the move done. Fantastic by the reserve. Up into P8. And gets the move done as Paolo Harry, though, thinking of sending it back down the inside, has to back out. And Ethan almost running into the back of Godzilla. I think there was contact there. Cod goes wide. Paolo Harry loses the rear end out of the corner. And drops down to 9th. Ollie into P8. Ethan gets DRS. They've all got DRS. We go 3 wide down the pit straight into turn 1. Who will come out in the lead of this battle? They're still 3 wide coming through turn 2. Someone has to give eventually, and Paolo Harry gets forced off the track by the 2 Red Bulls and down to P10. But JG is the one who profits. He says, thank you very much. I'll have 3 places at once there. Gets the Ferrari up into P7, but now look at the gap to the Alfa Romeo ahead of him. 4.2 seconds. This battle has cost them big time. Cloud has been into the pits. He's got rid of those soft tyres and gone for a set of mediums, and I expect he will go until the end of the race. Out in P4 at the moment. Your top 3 still yet to pit, but all on the hard tyres. There is Supply Raptor, your race leader at the moment, as Ritzy, thinking of a move on Mallard, stays behind for the time being. Behind them, the battle for 7th. Their battles all over the track at the moment. Ethan in 8th place is ahead of his teammates still on the medium tyre. Ollie on the hard. Question is though, can Ethan make those mediums last until the end of the race? Him and Cloud have gone for the very aggressive soft to medium strategy, and it does mean that a lot of tyre management is needed if that is to be pulled off, whereas the guys around them all go medium to hard. In comes F1 Mallard from P6. That releases Ritzy, who has lost a little bit of time to JG, I believe. You've also got the McLaren of Godzilla coming into the pits as well. We'll bring on the tyres so you can see what they pit onto. Coming off the hard tyres, Mallard goes medium. And Godzilla a bit further down the pit lane also goes medium. So those 2 will look to go to the end of the race. Jamie Dwyer is also pit at the back of the field. He is on a fresh set of hards. Well, the gap between Ritzy and JG now 3 seconds. So he did lose some time behind F1 Mallard, but not quite enough. What now? Saying 9-car DRS training. Indeed it is. It's been ridiculous here at Bahrain. We've seen some fantastic racing up and down the field. We've seen this dramatic battle over P6, which is now a 5-car fight between JG, the 2 Red Bulls, and Paolo Harry, who's making the move up the inside of Ollie into turn 11. Has the inside line. They'll go side by side as they climb the hill, but the Alpine gets the move done, gets himself back up into P8, and Paolo Harry really needing to push now. He was 3rd in qualifying and had 3rd place for much of this race. Now he's battling over effectively P4 at the moment. Cloud sets the fastest lap as Titan comes into the pit lane. What tyres will the Alfa Romeo strap on? It is a set of the mediums as we start lap 17. And he will look to go 12 laps, I believe, on these mediums. We'll wait and see where he comes out. It looks like, actually, the Alfa Romeo is going to have a lovely bit of clean air. You can see the gap behind there. Out of the pits he comes. There's a McLaren in the pits as well. That's Craig Conley. But there is your gap. Ultra Titans 6 seconds behind Haters ahead of him. And with 6 seconds behind him to Jaden Lomax, who's under pressure from Stan and Arrow. Further forward, JG, Ethan, Paolo Harry, Ollie and Haters still doing battle over P5. But look at that gap to Ritzy at the moment. It is closing very, very slowly. But it is definitely closing. It was 3 seconds. It's now 2.7. Raptor. JG making good work on these hard tyres, as he has a little wiggle out of the exit of turn 10 there, just to prove it isn't all plain sailing on the hardest compound. But defending P5 from Ethan, who is just holding on to the edge of the DRS, although that wiggle through turn 11 has certainly not helped. He drifted just outside of a second for a brief moment. He is back within. Supply Raptor comes into the pits from the lead of the race. That will release Cloud, who is currently out on track on the mediums and has already taken the lead. Look at the minimap. He is already reaching turn 1. Raptor yet to exit the pits, but where will he come out in comparison to Ritzy? Raptor on fresh tyres. Here comes the Alfa Romeo. Who will be in the lead going into the corner? It's going to be Ritzy, and it's going to be Ritzy quite comfortably. Raptor comes out in 3rd place with this battle for what is now 4th going on behind him. And can he warm up those tyres quick enough to not be dragged in to this 4-car fight? Haters starting to drift off at the back of this pack. 1.6 seconds to the back of Ollie. But it is certainly nice to see as well in this race at the moment. We are 18 laps in here at the Sakir International Circuit, and no one has picked up a single penalty yet. Tier 1 really setting the standard here for racing in WHF. I shouldn't have opened my mouth. This is the part as a commentator where you sort of sit back and you go, why do I speak? View Gosling gets your first penalty of the race in P10 for his interpretation of track limits. You could not have timed that any better if you tried. And that will, at the moment, not have any effect. We've got another penalty. I've just said how there's been no penalties. Supply Raptor picks up what could be a crucial 3-second time penalty there. He is catching the back of Ritzy very quickly. Doesn't quite have the DRS, but he is closing on him very quickly on these fresh tyres. But now has to gap him by 3 seconds before the end of this race, otherwise he will lose the position to him. We were just about to say, view Gosling's penalty down in P10. He's gone from the back of the grid to the top 10 at the moment. His penalty will not have any effect on his final position as it stands. He is 5.7 seconds ahead of the battle for 11th place, which is now being held by Arrow as he gets the move done on Jaden Lomax down into T1. Jaden Lomax will now come under pressure once again from Billy and Penguin, and Billy and Penguin in the Haas seemingly with more battery than the Williams. You saw the rear lights on that Williams flashing. Billy and Penguin thinking of the cutback but doesn't quite manage it, and will have to stay P12 for the time being. Meanwhile, we cut back to the battle over second. Supply Raptor all over the back of Ritzy with the DRS. Doesn't make the move into turn 11. Would rather wait for the start-finish straight. And as we say, this battle over second really hotting up now. Cloud 11.8 seconds clear at the front. He's doing exactly what he needs to do at the moment. If we have a look at the championship, he was 31 points behind at the start today. He got 2 for the pole position. He currently holds the fastest lap and is currently going to pick up 25 points for the win. The gap will be just 2 points between him and championship leader Cookie as Raptor makes the move with the DRS down the main straight. It is as simple as you like. And the Alpine up into P2. Haters making his second pit stop of the race. I forgot about that. He fully had to pit again and goes for hards. Now, interesting. I believe the Mercedes has been struggling with his tyre wear today because he only managed 10 laps on the mediums in the first stint. He pit before some of the soft runners had, and now he's going for hards. So maybe tyre wear a real problem with the Mercedes of Haters. We will have to wait and see. Meanwhile, JG has been overtaken by Parallel Harry. Harry gets himself back up into 4th place. He has a 4-second gap near there or thereabouts ahead of him to BRL Ritzy, but it is still looking like a very strong weekend at the moment for the Alpines. They scored P2 and P4 last time out at Belgium, with Raptor in P2 and Parallel Harry in P4. But it's a sense of deja vu here tonight in the Bahrain desert. as they are in the exact same places again. Meanwhile, battle over 6th place as well. The two Red Bulls have fallen off the back of the Ferrari of JG at the moment. Ethan down to 7th place, has DRS on his teammate as we have a yellow flag in the background. Jaden Lomax has gone round. No damage on the Williams, but has certainly lost a couple of places and will now be dragged into this battle over what is P14, as Stan looking to go round the outside and make the most of it, and he's going to do exactly that as Haters also going round. They sandwich the Williams, both of them get the move done, and Haters into the final corner will wrap up P11, P14, will he? Not quite. Stan holds it round the outside. And down the main straight, who has the DRS here? Somehow Stan and Haters both don't have the DRS. Explain that one on a post-it note, will you? Because that's certainly interesting as Jaden Lomax loses the rear end yet again. It's all getting a bit messy here over 14th place. Jaden Lomax all the way down to 18th now. You saw him lose the rear slightly on the exit of turn 1. I wonder if there was contact as well that forced him off, but down to P18. And, well, it's been a bit of a nightmare day for Williams and McLaren so far. They make up the bottom 4 places on the grid. And won't, as it stands, won't be scoring any points. A reminder that points in we have Fun F1 for the top 16 drivers. 25 for a win, 22 for second, 19 for third. And then we continue to step it down. 16 for fourth, 14th for fifth. And then it goes all the way down to 1 point in 16th, which is currently being held by SLR Stan in the Alpha Tauri. But the talking point today has been this man. He has been dominant. Cloud, at the moment, going to be closing that gap. There's another spin further back. Is that Jaden Lomax again? It is Jaden Lomax again. He has no front wing now. Losing the rear at the same place he did the previous lap. Turn 11 there. And the Williams with huge damage on his car. He's going to drop behind his teammate pretty soon. And that might be the end of Jaden Lomax's race. Elsewhere, Cloud still leads the way. He is going to be gaining massively on Cookie in the driver's standings as it stands. The gap will be 2 points between Cookie and Cloud heading into the final 3 races of the season. Raptor in second. Go get his 3rd second place in 3 races here, Raptor. As Jaden Lomax retires in the pits. Not surprised by that one. He wasn't going to pick up any points as it stood. And he calls it a day for the Williams. Unlucky for him. Ritzy in 3rd place is being gapped by Raptor. The gap now 4.3 seconds. So that 3-second time penalty that Raptor has no longer relevant. And then we've got this battle over 4th. Paolo Harry, 4th place at the moment, defending from Jason Gordon. Let's take a look on board with them. So you can see there, Paolo Harry, about half his battery. And very similar for the Ferrari, who has DRS going down this straight. Can he look to make a move into turn 1? Further back as well, the 2 Red Bulls battling over 6th. And you've got Ultra Titan and View Gosling battling over 8th place at the moment. Ultra Titan doing a very good job here of getting himself back into the race at the moment. There is this battle between him and JG for 3rd in the standings right now. And as it stands, JG will be getting P5, which is 14 points to take him to 114 here today. Ultra Titan will be picking up P8, which would be slightly less points. Of course, it'd be 10 for him, and he'd be on 116. So we'll just keep the Ferrari behind him in that battle for 3rd. Further back, though, who's that spun? Ollie has gone round in the background. So what has happened to the Red Bull of Ollie? I reckon there may have been a collision here between him and Ethan. Ethan has dropped back to 7th place. And I missed that one on stream as I was too busy figuring out the driver's standings. But Ethan drops back to 8th now in the Red Bull. And him and his teammate have lost a couple of places. So was there contact between the 2 Red Bulls here? And, well, if there was, there's certainly going to be some words said when they get back to Milton Keynes afterwards. Back out at the front, Paolo Harry still defending from JG. Titan now up into 6th, will be getting 12 points instead of the 10 he had a minute ago, and will still be defending that 3rd in the championship as JG sends it down the inside, gets the move done up into P4 and adds a further 2 points to his tally. The gap closes to Titan, but Paolo Harry, yet again, he's saying it's not going to be easy to get past me, and he gets the move back done, does a very Charles Leclerc-esque move there in the Alpine. He lets JG through into turn 1, knowing he'll have the DRS at the second time around, and gets the move taken back. Into 4th place goes the Alpine. Elsewhere, View Gosling up into 6th place. His race from the back of the grid to the top 6 been fantastic so far. Ultra Titan coming under pressure from Ethan in P8 at the moment. Nothing doing for him, but Titan loses the rear coming out of turn 10. It's very easy to do that, and it will cost him a place this time around. Ethan back up into P7, and Titan drops down to P8, and well, that gap getting ever closer between JG and Ultra Titan in the championship standings. 2 points between the two of them as it stands. Lap 25 we're now heading on to here. So just 5 laps to go, including the one that these two are currently on. Cloud 8.6 seconds clear of Raptor. He's been steadily closing the gap, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any further action between the top two unless something goes drastically wrong for Cloud. And Raptor still has that 3-second time penalty as well. Ritzy in a bit of no man's land on the final step of the podium. Nearly 7 seconds behind second, and 5.2 ahead of these two who are still battling for 4th. Paolo Harry defending from JG and defending well at the moment, defending that 4th place. View Gosling is trying to escape Ultra Titan, who has got back past Ethan for P7. And well, what a lovely camera angle that is in the helicopter. As we follow them through set 2, they've climbed the slight hill up through turn 9, drop back down the hill into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. You see the little lock up there from Ultra Titan. Very, very easy to do that at turn 10. And Ethan now in P8. His teammate Ollie some 8 seconds back now. I wonder, is there damage on that Red Bull? It doesn't look like it. Then behind, you've got the battle for the last place in the top 10. This isn't a battle for the final point. All these guys are getting points as it stands, but it is certainly a battle for pride and a couple extra points here and there as Arrow gets himself up into P11 in the Ferrari, trying to recover from what has been a bit of a turbulent race for him so far. And he's up into P11. Let's jump back to the battle over 4th. JG right up behind the Alpine at the moment, but not close enough to make the move into turn 1. He tried to scare him, I think, into the apex, and has got actually a lovely run out of the first corner. The number 95 in this red Ferrari. Can he make the move? Not this time around, as Supply Raptor picks up another penalty. Let's have a look at everyone's penalties at the moment. 6 seconds for Raptor, 3 for Gosling, Mallard and Division right at the back of the pack. Elsewhere, Ultra Titan really close to the back of View Gosling at the moment. If you look at the tyres for these guys, Titan has very similar age tyres to the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin slightly fresher tyres as Jamie Dwyer picks up a 5-second time penalty heading into the pit lane. And I believe we're going to see the Williams driver just strap on a set of softs and maybe try and go for that fastest lap of the race, which, as we say, currently held by Cloud. 1:29.957 is the time to beat. Can Division or Jamie Dwyer beat that? They are both on fresh, soft tyres. But as it stands, View Gosling will drop down to P8 with that time penalty, although we wait to see what happens between the two Red Bulls as to whether there'll be some action from the stewards between them. Lap 27 now of 29. You can see one driver has been lapped in this race, I believe. That is Jamie Dwyer in P19. So good display of pace from everyone in this tier as well. Of course, there is a bit of a gap at the front, and there's a bit of a gap between Ethan and Ollie as well. That gap keeps on extending. I'm wondering, does Ollie potentially have rear wing damage? Because that gap is opening up. There's no front wing damage on the Red Bull. And we know Ollie is one of our quicker drivers. He's currently sat in 5th in the championship at the moment, although that may come under threat from Ritzy. Ritzy will pick up 19 points as it stands and get himself up onto... Oh, big slide from the Red Bull coming through turn 7 there. And we also see a battle going on in the background as Hayter sends it down the inside of Billy and Penguin. Can he make the move stick? He does. The man in the Mercedes gets himself up into P12 and will now challenge F1 Mallard over P11 here. I think there's contact there. I think there was contact. There's a spin in the background as well as Godzilla has gone off on the inside of the corner there. That's an interesting place to have gone off. So I wonder what happened there. But that brings up a bit of a battle here over... Yes, I believe Ollie does have damage to the rear wing. We mentioned it a moment ago. And he has just lost the rear coming through the long right-hander at turn 12. Which suggests to me he is struggling for some rear grip. Loses the rear end. And gets himself... down into P13 now, so unfortunate for the Red Bull, but he is in a big train of cars here, all fighting for this position. He's going to get one with Billy and Penguin. Can he make it more than that? We go 3 wide into turn 1, and Ollie is going to get 3 positions in one corner if he keeps it on the track. Not quite, and round the outside goes F1 Mallard. There goes Billy and Penguin as well, trying to get back through. And Ollie dropping back down to P12 after that, but almost pulled off a fantastic move, getting 3 cars in one straight. Godzilla retires from the race from what was P16 there, so I wonder if there was damage for the McLaren, as Hayes picked up a 5-second penalty for cutting the corner and gaining 1 place. I'm sure that will be reviewed by the stewards, and potentially... that will be removed. If not, that is a costly penalty when he's in this big group. He'll be demoted to P13 as it stands. We hop back to the front of the pack and you see Division now being lapped by Cloud. Cloud gets himself on to the final lap of this race, and well, the top 3 has been decided for the past 10 laps or so. Cloud, Raptor and Ritzy really in little worlds of their own at the moment. And look like they're going to take the podium, but the big battle is right here over 4th place. Last chance potentially here for JG. Certainly the last big overtaking opportunity is down into turn 4 if he can't get it done into turn 11. And this time around it won't happen for the Ferrari. Parallel Harry defending well here. Holds on to 4th place. Elsewhere, further back, we got this battle over 10th going on. Arrow has escaped. He has secured himself P9 as it stands, but this is a 3-way fight becoming a 4-way fight through turn 1. Ollie gets himself up into P11. Mallard and Billy and Penguin now go side by side through turn 3. Going down the DRS straight here. Can they make a move? Mallard looks to the inside but backs out of it. Billy and Penguin's going to try and go all the way around the outside of the Red Bull. Doesn't quite make it. Yellow flags. Is that Cloud? Cloud has run out of fuel, but he is he close enough to the line? That gap is closing. Raptors coming through the final corner now, but Cloud will get over the line to win in Bahrain. And he does it in style. Raptor crosses the line in P2 to finish some 9 seconds back after penalties are added. It'll be Ritzy for P3, but coming into the final corner, can JG make a late move? No, he can't. It'll be P3 for Ritzy, who finishes 2 seconds behind Raptor in the end. Parallel Harry holds on for a brilliant 4th place. A race-long battle between him and JG. Titan will get 6th as we see this glitch happening with Raptor again. Titan gets 6th. Ethan in 7th. View Gosling will be P8. Arrow will cross the line for 9th in his own little world at the moment. He's been taken in the sights for the last few laps. Crosses the line, will get P8. Haters will cross in P9, but has that penalty which demotes him down into P13. We'll wait and see if that is taken off for him. So it could be P10 for Haters, it may be P13. Last few drivers coming across the line. I feel like we have something of a pile up here as we come across the line. Craig Conley will cross the line to take the final points in this race. A single point for the McLaren. And yeah, a bit of a pile up across the line there, it seems. We wait for Division and Jamie Dwyer. Actually, it's just Division. He got back past Cloud because of him running out of fuel. Got to do one more lap, and unfortunately, it will be P17 and 0 points for the AlphaTauri here today. His teammate getting P15 and picking up 2 points. And across the line goes the AlphaTauri, doing a beautiful pirouette as he does so, but unfortunately you don't get any extra points for that, and it's P17 for the AlphaTauri due to the weird glitch for Supply Raptor. So we wait for your podium. There is the man, he slips and falls, but he takes the win. And Cloud, I believe, did get the fastest lap here today, so takes maximum points away from Bahrain. The gap in the championship closes to just 2 points, I believe, between Cloud and Cookie. We wait for confirmation on that, but I do believe that gap is just down to 2 points. Another fantastic race for Alpine, P2 and P4 for the two of them. And Ritzy completing your podium. We'll try and get some of them in for chat. And yes, Cloud does pick up full points here in Bahrain and closes that lead in the championship to 2 points. We will wait and get some of them in. We'll try and get Ritzy, try and get Raptor, and we'll try and get Cloud in to start off with. Let's have a look at your race director. First of all, at Cloud, he set the fastest lap on lap 16 when he pit onto the fresh mediums. Here are all your incidents. Not many around here. And we'll get in your podium. I believe the party is open if anyone else is wanting to join. Hello guys, tick the box when you join. And I believe we have, yeah, we have all of the podium with us. So we'll start off with our man in third place, Ritzy. You had a bit of a lonely end to the race in the end, once Raptor passed you. But a podium for you here today, and you closed the gap on the guys around you in the championship. So pretty successful one. Just talk us through your race.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty eventful, starting from my shambolic qualifying performance, spinning on my final lap after I was like barely a tenth up on my first lap. I was gonna like genuinely try, so it's disappointing to see that we're really bad for some reason. But like besides that, really entertaining race, a lot of moves, a lot of battles, and yeah, it was fairly boring toward the end. Obviously, Raptor got past, and I was like, yeah, I'll stick around his DRS, but like he just got on it straight away. And like even with the 6 second penalties, I couldn't do anything, and yeah, that was about it basically.
Well, it was a brilliant recovery from that quali. What happened in quali? Was it just you were struggling for the lap time, or was there invalidations, or?
I just forgot how to drive. Like I don't know how I lost the car there. I was struggling like I don't know. Like my pace is genuinely horrific. Hopefully we'll come back in a week's time. But like yeah, my pace is terrible as of now.
Yeah, you mentioned a week's time. It is Japan next weekend. Is that what a track that suits you at all?
Absolutely not. But we're just being like in a better. We'll just have a better setup. We won't have to deal with input latency and things like that. So you know, we'll see. I wasn't planning on making it to this one, but next weekend I'm genuinely not sure about. So if we make it, we'll see how we do. If
Well,
we don't make it, I'm on to the next one.
well, we certainly hope you manage to join us because you've put on a good show there tonight, as you say, coming from uh, lower down in the order than you would have liked, but it was fantastic performance from you, and you get P3. We come to a man who you can't seem to escape second place at the moment, Raptor. It doesn't matter who's in the race with you. It's 3 races, 3 second places. Do you think there was a chance to the win today, or was Cloud just a bit too quick? Yeah, well, you two were class above in qualifying, and then in the race, it seems the gap sort of ebbed and flowed a little bit between you and Cloud at the start, but yeah, as you say, yeah, the hard's certainly a tricky tie around here. Was it ever a thought of doing the medium to soft, or was it always going to be hards at the start? Well, congratulations on another P2. If you're joining us next weekend at Japan, do you feel like you could maybe go one better? Are you getting fed up of being the bridesmaid here? Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you because you're constantly up there. You're showing the pace, and I mean your teammate as well. It has to be said, your teammate did a fantastic job defending from Ritzy in stages. He may well have saved you after the time penalties there because I think Ritzy lost a few seconds behind him. We come then to the man of the moment who's closed the gap in the championship to just 2 points. Cloud, you did
It's two
exactly what you needed
points.
to do.
Oh,
The gap,
wonderful.
yeah, the gap is down to two. You got 25 for the win, two for the fastest lap, and two for pole position, and it's come down from 31 to just 2 points. Just just talk us through that race because you were dominant today.
Um, yeah, pretty smooth sailing. I just wanted to try something a bit different. Went with a high downforce setup or a higher downforce setup and soft medium. Just made sure to pull a healthy gap to supply and then just started setting consistent lap times like 32.3s just over and over and over. And then made sure to stretch them long enough so when I did pit, if I got fastest lap, it would actually stay as fast as lap and wouldn't get taken. Yeah, that was about it. Just nice and consistent.
Yeah, you seem to have just a very relaxing drive at the front at one point. It just seemed like you were taking in the sights. You might as well have been because you had that gap at the front. Next weekend, Japan. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a track you like? Do you think you could maybe push Cookie, assuming he turns up for that one?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Is is Japan a track you like?
Yeah, J Japan is a yeah, Japan is yeah, Japan's a track I like. Yeah, my qualifying time is pretty good there. Race pace is also feeling good.
Well, we look forward to it. And we certainly have a title fight on our hands now with three races to go. You did exactly what you needed to tonight, and I don't know if Cookie's already seen the results of tonight or not, but he's probably gonna be a bit nervous now. Who else has joined in the meantime as well? I've seen a few people been joining. We've got Ethan, Titan, and Arrow in here. Oh, and Ollie as well. We'll start with the two Red Bulls because I didn't see what happened to you two on the stream. We were busy watching other people, but we saw you lost time. What are there gonna be some words said between you two? What
Uh,
happened?
yeah, I guess I'll start. Yeah, well, we're involved in a collision in the middle sector during the twisty section. Uh, there was a collision there, and I've not watched it back. But can't really say too much until I watch it back, so I don't really remember what happened. But uh, Ollie did get spun out.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's all
Ollie,
good. It's all good.
did you
I've
get
literally
rear
just
wing
watched
damage by any chance?
me.
Yeah, because I
Oh
saw you then lost it later on in the race.
no,
Uh,
I
around.
that's just because of tire grip. I just lost
Fair.
just spun it. Yeah, the collision between me and Ethan is very much a racing incident. I missed the apex going into the first of the S section, hit him a first time, which then sends me sideways, and then I just due to that I hit him again, which then spins me round. So it's just a unfortunate racing incident. But yeah, it was a fun little battle. So.
Yeah, we were watching the battle between, I think it was you, JG, Parallel Harry, Haters at one point. It was like a 5 or 6 way scrap over what was fourth place for quite a lot of that race. And you guys suddenly put on a show. Ethan in particular, you were sending some really good moves. There was one move, I think it was on Harry, around the outside of turn 13 that we caught that was certainly
Yeah,
an eye-catching one. So a decent debut in Tier 1 there for you. Uh,
yeah,
who else joined? I think I said Titan was in there. Yeah, Titan,
Yes.
Arrow, and Mallard's here as well.
Don't care about Titan.
Nope.
Time, we didn't actually see much of you in that race. We saw you joined up with the group towards the end of the race, but what happened for the rest of yours?
I mean, I just was trying to catch up to JG in the group that was kind of battling for third for a while. But for some reason, the tire grip, I think even Ollie, Arrow, and Mallard also had issues. It just felt odd. So I was trying to catch up, but then Ethan was wanting to get past me, and it just made it not really possible to then catch up. So I had to just try and keep the tires clean so that they didn't drop off a window early on. But after that, I was on mediums, and then sort of the same thing happened. But I was able to build up a good gap and push, but not enough to catch JG and Harry at the end, which was getting quite close time-wise. We were matching each other, and then I was getting quicker. But yeah, it's not really much else. Just keeping it clean and having tire issues.
It's the story of Bahrain, I think, normally, isn't it? Tire
Yes.
issues. I remember from Tier 2, the hards were horrible around there, and it seems quite a lot of you faced the same fate today. Arrow, we saw you'd drop down the order towards the start. We didn't quite see what happened. We just saw you sort of go offline and be a lot slower. But a good recovery in the end, back up to what I believe was P9, I think. I know the timing screens glitched a bit because of Raptor's bug thing, but what happened in your race?
It was very strange lap one. I was running higher downforce, so I was expecting to be quick in the corners. And in lap one, I was like hitting people in the rear tire, but then they were like ghosting, and I was not getting any audio cues that I was actually making contact, and I used audio a lot to know what the hell I'm doing. And what would happen is they would like spin because they were a ghost, but then like reform sideways in front of me, and it just didn't make any sense. I was so confused. So I just kept dropping back from people like ghosting and then would reform like ahead of me. It was very weird. But I don't know. I dropped all the way back to like P17, which was horrendous because I think I qualified like eighth or ninth or something. I don't know. But then I decided to box earlier than I intended because I was just like, as I'm running higher downforce, I need to kind of just use the pace. And then I think when I went in, like three other people who I was fighting with went in as well, so it didn't even really matter that much. But yeah, I was battling a couple of people, Mallard and Billion towards the end, and then once I got ahead of Mallard and Billion, then I think they came together, and then I just used that opportunity to gap them. And then Ollie spun, so that gave me an extra position.
And then
Spinner.
haters happened.
So, yeah, good recovery in the end from you. Back up into P9. You mentioned Mallard was battling people. We saw quite a lot of that on the stream. It was getting a bit feisty. What did you see from your perspective in that mode? Because we saw Haters picked up a penalty for gaining a position off track, but we didn't actually see him when he went off track.
So Ollie further on again. Looks like Ollie started coming by being able to make. They didn't quite move all the way out, and they did have a little bump. Well, I know Ollie went at halfway.
What position were you in there? Was it P12, 11?
I believe it was 11.
Yeah, the weird glitch at the end with. Yeah. Yeah, we were trying to juggle watching can JG send it on parallel to can you guys battle without there being any death and destruction and stuff like that, and while keeping an eye on everything else. But we got a pretty good view of the battle, and it seemed pretty good for most of it. But yeah, at the end, the timing screen bugging has made it very difficult to figure out who was actually where. I
Well,
remember, but
Supply Raptor did finish second. And
we know
then-
Supply Raptor finished second though. But yeah, very interesting race in the end. Next week we go to Japan, I believe it was. I said a minute ago. Yes, Japan in Tier 1. Tier 2, before that, on Saturday night, we'll go to Silverstone for their final European race of the season. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. I don't know if you've got someone you want to raid, Aaron?
I'll get someone now.
for-
See.
For the stream, yeah? And we can just sort of chat amongst ourselves to finish off this stream.
Oh, let's-
No moaning that will appear on TikTok
Let's get
or any moments like that.
let's get Cookie's friend Marcus Libs, I think his name is. And
Awesome.
let's see
We'll
here.
do that then. I feel we already may have a TikTok moment because I was talking about how nicely it had gone with no penalties, and then 2 people got penalties within 10 seconds of each other.
Well, we're ready to raid Marcus now, so see you
There
all
we go.
next week.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, we will see you all next week. Same time as always. Tier 2 on the Saturday, Tier 1 on the Sunday. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Goodbye.
It will.